Hey everybody, welcome back to HemingwayLand.com. Got a new property that we're really excited about. It's up here in the northwest corner of the state, a little turquoise county is San Juan. San Juan County borders Colorado, Utah, and Arizona. It's in the Four Corners region, and this specific property is 4.76 acres for $12,500. Power, gas, and water lines, RV friendly, close to Marina. There's a lot to unpack there, so let's get to it. Click Learn More, and we will go to the listing page. So first off, before I begin, this is a drone video up here. It's going to give you a really good sense of the property, the terrain, the surroundings. It's going to give you a really good sense of the marina as well and all the amenities of the marina. After I am done babbling, this video of me talking will be placed in this headline spot, and this drone video will be moved to the bottom of the page. So if you want to watch this, just scroll all the way to the bottom below the photo gallery. It'll be down there. All right. So first off, I'm crazy go nuts for any type of property I can buy in New Mexico that has that is close to water. That's a really big favorite with our buyers, and it's really great when you can offer those, especially at a good price. So I was very excited to get this one. If you scroll down here to the gallery, we've got a map of this Marina area. This is in the Todosio Canyon region. The star is a little further west of where the property is. The property is a little closer to the canyon area here. But you can get a sense looking at this of exactly how big this marina and all these rivers and channels and whatnot are. Prior to buying and selling land in New Mexico, I was not aware of the Navajo Marina or exactly how big a deal it is, but there's actually a lot going on out there. And if you kind of scroll through these photos, you can get a sense, specifically something like this, of all that you can do out there. Now, this property is perfect for anybody who owns a boat, who likes being out on water. But even if you don't, you can come over here to the marina. You could rent a boat, you could rent a jet ski, you could rent a Sea-Doo, you could rent a whole bunch of stuff, which I'll get to in a second. But you can see, based on these photos, exactly what this area is like. And, you know, I'm not going to call this a beach type area, but you can see that there is a sort of shoreline that people will use for camping out at or for sunbathing, things like that. So there's a lot to do up here. If you come back to the table, you can specifically, where's that? Points of interest, Navajo Dam Marina. If you click on this link, it's going to take you to the website, and you can see all that's offered out here. And they're going to do a much better job of explaining everything that they offer than I am. But you just take a short look at this. Boat rentals. Click on this. As I said, you've got the Sea-Doo. You've got party barge. You can rent one of these things. All sorts of vessels and hovercrafts and whatnot. What else? Kayak, paddleboard, hydro bike rentals. I'm guessing this is a hydro bike. I don't know. But you can do all that. My personal favorite is the 48-foot houseboat that you can rent out here. So let's say you buy this property, you build some kind of structure, a new kind of home on it, a summer home or a second home on it. This is a perfect way to celebrate. This is a perfect housewarming party. Get the friends and family together, rent something like this, and go out on the marina and have a great weekend with this thing. This looks awesome. Anyway, I will not bore you with me going through this website. I will let you do that on your free time. But point is that that is available to explore right there. Let's go to the GPS coordinates. So as with every one of my listing pages, latitude and longitude, if you come over here, you click on the GPS coordinates, you're going to be able to see exactly where this is on the map. Okay, so this is so it's 4.76 acres. I'm going to round off conversationally, call it 5 acres. This is the 5-acre parcel right here. This is the legal access road that can access the property. And as you can see, you could come into it from this direction as well. It's right off the 511, and if you want a sense of Todosio Canyon, by the way, if you want a sense of exactly how far this is from the marina's down here. Right-click on this, say measure distance. This is roughly a little over 5 miles, something like that, down there, and it's an easy 5 miles. This 511 is not a heavily trafficked road, so this is an easy 5-mile drive, just back and forth. You know, I would also say one of the really nice things about this property is that it's not just a seasonal property. It's not something that you can only enjoy 3 or 4 months a year. If you look at, so Telluride is right up here, and if we click on measure distance, here you'll see it's about 70 plus miles, so maybe a little over an hour to drive up to Telluride. And Taos is, where's Taos at? Taos is over here. Let's measure distance to Taos. Driving distance out there is about 2 hours. So you've got all this great boating, fishing, jet skiing, whatnot that you can do in the summertime, and then in the winter you've got some of the best skiing in America is within an hour or 2 hours of this property. So as you can see, it's great, and you've got a lot to do out there. Let's talk about, just rid of this for a second. So up here in the headline, we say that there's power, gas, and water lines. If you go down to the photo gallery here, you'll be able to see. So this is the road leading up to the property. You can see there's a lot of power lines here in the area. And if you scroll through this, again, you'll see more power lines here. This is specifically at the property, at the what do you call it? Property line. More phone and power lines there as well. So, point being, that makes it a lot easier to get power to the property. Furthermore, and this is something that we rarely see with properties that we buy, gas pipeline in the area, water pipeline in the area. I am not an engineer. I have never built a house. I have never drilled a well, but I would say that I've been doing this job long enough that I know things like this make it a lot easier and a lot less expensive to build some kind of structure out there and to connect it to, you know, all these sort of things that you need to connect it to live comfortably. So this is an incredible feature, and this is also out there in the region. You know, quick thing that I would say to anybody who's looking at this property, we do a lot of research on these things, but our research is ultimately finite. If you have questions for the county about can I do this, can I do that, it's always best to call the assessor or call the, typically I say planning and zoning office. San Juan County doesn't really have a formal planning and zoning office. And that actually brings me to the next big selling point of this property. So there are no formal planning and zoning rules in this part of the county. There are in Farmington and there are in Aztec. But in this area, this is unincorporated San Juan County, there are zero, let me say that again, zero planning and zoning restrictions that are in place here. So, for instance, if you want to build a tiny home, if you want to build a container home, if you want to build an earth ship or a ute, utes are becoming incredibly fashionable these days. I don't know how that happened, but they are. If you want to do any of those things, you can. And furthermore, and I would say this is the number one question I get asked most often, which is, can I park an RV on the property? And I get this question so often, and the answer is so frequently no, that I have begun calling counties or having my assistant call counties and just ask in advance, can I park an RV? Can I live out of the RV? Can I just park it there 365 days a year and call it my, you know, my domicile? Can I do that? In San Juan County, you can. So that is a fantastic feature of this property for all of the people out there who are RV enthusiasts who like to, you know, live out of their RV. You can do that on this property, and you're this much closer to the lake. So even better. Let's talk about the terrain out here. If you look at these photos, you'll get a sense that so certain parts of the property are, you know, regular earth, terra firma, and then other parts of the property have this kind of very rocky terrain. And if you scroll through this photo gallery, you'll see examples of both. Go back up here to the GPS coordinates. Click on these. So if we scroll in and click on satellite view, so what I'm about to do, you can do, you just hold down the control button and you just kind of move your mouse around and you can see this. So there's a bit of a I don't know, it's sort of, you're out here in the canyon, so there's a bit of a rocky, slopey incline here from the road. Anybody who's buying this property should be aware that there's a portion of it that is this sort of flat, regular ground area, and then there's this kind of rocky ground area. I don't know what a buyer is going to want. Everybody has different tastes. Some people really like things like this because of this unique topography. They want to, you know, build their earthship home on it. They want to, you know, it looks cool, so some people like that. Other people would say that, you know, structurally or engineering-wise, it presents obstacles or difficulties that are too hard or expensive to overcome. I don't know. But the point is that anybody who's interested in this property should be aware that there is a significant portion of it that has this kind of terrain. So as part of your due diligence, as part of your research with the property, whatever you want to do out there, going out to scout it is always a good idea, and doing that kind of research is always important. So according to my photographer, you can apparently access the property from this road. As far as getting from here to up here, this is drivable with an off-road vehicle or something. I assume it's also drivable with an RV. If it is not, you can approach the property, hang on, from this direction. As I mentioned earlier, you can come in off this road and get into the sort of back door of the property. As you can see here, there's already sort of some sort of RV kind of mobile home structure down here. So there are other people who are living out here like that. So yeah, so easy to do is my point. By the way, quick thing, let's go back to this. We get this question often that somebody wants to go out, they want to scout the property. I always encourage that. I always say if you're going to spend any amount of money on land, you should see the thing first. We, however, do not have offices in New Mexico. We're investors. We buy and sell land. And, you know, we're 2 states away. So I always tell people, please go out, look at the property, take a look at it, you know, do any kind of exploring that you want. It's very easy to do. One way you can do that is if you just click on the directions button up here, enter your start point, your house, your hotel, wherever you're staying at in the area, and you should be able to get turn-by-turn directions here. Simultaneously, if you pull this listing page up on your smartphone and click on these GPS coordinates, your smartphone should be able to give you turn-by-turn directions. So be my guest, go out there, explore, take a look at it, make sure whatever you want to do, you can do. All right, next, let's talk about price. So this property is priced at $12,500. $12,500 is not an insignificant sum of money. That being said, as far as land goes in this area, this is actually quite affordable. And as usual, I have the comps queued up to prove it. So notice our property comes up first. But this is San Juan County, New Mexico. And let's do acres. Let's start at 2. I notice a lot of properties out there are subdivided as 2.5 or 4.76 or something like that. So let's do 2 acres to 10 acres. Click apply, and then we're going to search on that. And then we're going to sort them by price, lowest first. So I don't know exactly what these things are. I have to imagine that this is $5,000 monthly rent, I would think, for an industrial facility. I don't know. But, so I think these are kind of mischaracterized. Anyway, $12,500 for 4.76 acres. As you'll see, we are the cheapest thing in the county. The next thing that comes close by Navajo Dam is $18,000 for half that amount of space, half that amount of acreage, 2.43 acres. Simultaneously, if you look around here, you can see the price per acre in San Juan County is much higher. But specifically these Navajo Dam properties, 2.5 acres for $25,000. I think this is probably the same listing. Let's see, here's 3 acres for $35,000, so on and so forth. You can explore this more, but what you'll see is that you know, property in that 4.5, 5 acre range, there's nothing that comes anywhere close to this $12,500. So it's incredible savings, and you know, I would say that even if the terrain out there does present some kind of difficulty, I would say that with the money that you're saving on the property, you could put that into whatever sort of grading or, you know, whatever needs to be done to accommodate your vision for the land. So finally, if you're interested in purchasing the property, the best way to do that, click the Buy Now button here. It's going to take you to this checkout page. All we are looking for up front is a $1,000 earnest money deposit. That sort of gets the ball rolling on this transaction. For any property that we have that's over $10,000, I highly recommend that you close through a title company. We have already closed on this through a title company, through San Juan Title, and we got title insurance on the property. But I recommend that for any of my buyers. Now, if you don't want to do that, that's fine. We can accommodate, you know, a credit card. You want to spread this out over 4 different credit cards, we can do that. You want to wire the money, we can do that and write the deed ourselves. But we always recommend that it's best to use a title company so you can escrow your funds while the deed is being recorded, while they are doing their research. You know, the guarantee that we make to our buyers is that we provide clear and marketable title, as well as no back taxes and no liens on the property. So it's one thing to hear it from us. It's another thing to hear it from a professional title company. So I think that's a level of assurance that is worth the expense. Anywho, that's all for now. Thank you for watching. If you're watching this on YouTube, click the little bell below the video here, subscribe to our YouTube channel, or tweet at us at @HemingwayLand. This is 15 plus minutes of me talking, so if you watch this whole video, I admire your patience. Thank you very much, and look forward to doing business with you.